And now let's welcome into the locker room Tommy Greene. Good morning, T.D. Greene.
Good morning, Billy, and I didn't know there were two of you.
Hey, how you doing, Tommy?
Jesus, man. We're in trouble.
Double trouble, Tommy.
You never met my brother. Yeah, you met my brother at the Great Bay Country Club.
Yeah, the Great Bay Country Club.
That's right.
I can't remember. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Tommy, say happy Mother's Day to Wendy, your lovely wife. I know you you made her breakfast in bed this morning.
Well, I'm trying to get her out of bed, so.
That's all right. It's her day to lay around do nothing, right?
Well, hey, it's her day to do whatever she wants. We're going to have a barbecue this afternoon and cook. That's what she wants to have, the kids over and that type of thing. So we're going to have a good evening.
That's awesome. All right, Tommy, we got a Mother's Day memory for you, and I want you to we want to get your comments afterwards. But I saw this and I saw your face smiling, and I said we got to play it. So enjoy this, Tommy.
How about that day?
6-5 in the 8th.
Oh, man. That brings back some good memories.
Oh, Tommy, man. Listen. This is Richie.
Oh, brother. This crowd of 46,000 plus has been silent all day to then wake them up. Man, oh, man. Slam home run Duncan. Bills lead 6-5.
Oh, Tommy, and then you know what's really
remember that day?
Yeah, tell us about it.
The visual. I can see the visual. I mean, where I'm at in the dugout,
yeah,
and seeing that view of Duncan putting that swing on that ball, Lee Smith, man, it was nothing better.
Tommy,
it was nothing better.
Tommy, I got to tell you, so I'm watching it. I don't know why I saw it on video. I don't know if they played it somewhere. And after his third curtain call, he sits by you, and you have the biggest smile on your face, like you're like nodding your head. Like you just tell us what was that sound like? What was the crowd like when he crack off the bat? What was it like?
It was. Harry said it perfect. The crowd. I mean, the crowd was dormant all day because they were sticking it to us a little bit, but and all of a sudden, man, that we had that one inning, you got some stuff going. It doesn't take but one swing in the bat to change things. So, I mean, sitting down, and Dunkey's one of the best guys on the planet, man. I mean, talking about a guy who has one of our unsung heroes, of that team. He's a guy that plays with passion and loves the game of baseball and expects you to play his teammate to play the same way he does. He wants you to play that way, and have that same passion for it. So he led by example in the way he went about his business and done things. He was a great guy to play with. I
got to tell you, that whole team, Bobby, I don't care what anybody says, that 93 team,
that was great.
You guys had a cast of characters, but you had a bunch of leaders, Dykstra, Cavilio, I mean, you yourself, Hollins, I mean, just everybody on that team, man. It was just packed full of characters, man.
Yeah, well, don't forget Crucky. He was the one that had more character than all of us.
Yeah, well, that actually had all the teams. I mean, that's my favorite team of all time. Even though the World Series teams and whatnot, that's my favorite team of all by far.
You could have fun on the field with us and fun off the field with us. A group of guys, man, they'd love to do it all.
Tommy, what time would you get home? Let's say if a game got over. Matter of fact, those games were at late.
Was that? Well, obviously that was a Sunday game, so that was an afternoon. Right?
Well, what time do you on an average? Like if you played a night game, you guys didn't get out of there until 2 a.m.
Well, I mean, Sean, it was a 7:35 start.
Yeah, back in those days.
Yeah, it was 7:35 start. So I mean, something like that. At least.
Oof.
We're good. We're after the game. We're good. We're there for a good, 2.5, 3 hours. Sometimes more.
Yeah.
So
I know you got memories that'll last a lifetime with that.
I always think about, when you hear Harry Callis, did you guys ever, while the game was going on, listen to the broadcast to Harry by any chance? Did anybody have a radio?
No. Most time we were out on the bench. The only time you were up in up top is if you have to use the restroom or something like that, or if you were the starting pitcher or pitchers that have pitched in the game already,
right?
Might be in in the video room in the back where we sit and watch the game and finish watching the game.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of times, especially after I pitched, I had a little bit of work to do. Depending on how long I lasted. So I mean, a lot of times, especially at home, I pitched well at home, and a lot of times I went deeper in games, and so I had to do my work in the training room first, and my routine that I did, and then I was able to maybe catch the last inning, or depends on if I pitched how long I pitched. A lot of times the game was over, I'd come out of the training room to high five them.
Yeah,
sure.
Now, Tommy, would you put that big ice pack on your shoulder after every game?
Well, yeah, a lot of it's preventative. There's times, and the only reason I did that is the way I was taught. It helps shut things down a little bit. After I did my work to kind of, I did my little arm weights to rotator cuff exercises to kind of solid things up again a little bit, because you've stretched everything out so much, and to solid things up. It wasn't like you weren't doing but like 5-pound weights or so.
Right.
But you're going through your routine to do things, to solid things back up, and then you'd shut it down to stop the acid from making you trying to get rid of the soreness, already. And then the next day is a big day of getting the body pumping, getting the blood pumping to kick some of that stuff out of there again. The running. That's why the running was really that. That was the process. I did. There's a lot of times I did. I could tell after I pitched.
Right.
I knew I was going to be real sore because you're out of whack.
Right.
A little bit. You're kind of battling and then there's other games. I pitched 5 complete games in a row one time, and after 3 of them, I didn't have to ice. I knew I was fine.
Right.
How about that? Because I was in sync. I found that you found that rhythm. You found that you're in sync with everything, and then it's good when it's like that. You're not too sore, but there's times that you are.
Yeah,
you have to battle. Yeah.
Every Sunday we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, sponsored by Blitz's Market. Tommy, let's talk about the Fightins, the 2024 Fightin' Phillies, because
we're having a little debate here in the locker room right now about. Everything's going great for the Phillies right now. They're operating on all cylinders right now, but we're thinking, no,
you're thinking, not me.
Well. But we all know, Tommy, we don't have a full-time closer. That concerns me. What are your thoughts?
Well, we didn't have that last year, really.
It's bullpen by committee.
But we need it.
We use them. If what they're using is good,
right,
is doing the job, what they're doing is matching up who at the end of the game. Who we're facing, that there's 3 guys that start out the 9th or something, who's better equipped.
That's right. But there's Bobby. It's bullpen by committee.
But here's the thing, Tommy. All the good teams.
2 guys out there that can do it.
That's what I said.
That's right.
That's a luxury to have 2 guys that can do it.
Yeah, I got it. But they usually have. It seems to me all the winning teams, the good teams that go down in history.
Bob, it's
2020.
Have a closer. You're an idiot. You're so stupid.
Well, Bobby, we had one last year. His name was Craig Kimbrell. You want him back?
That's what I'm saying.
You want that back, Bob?
I want somebody that's in that position that's good.
Tommy, I got my typical idiotic brother.
Got a luxury. Yeah. They got a luxury. Billy, you're showing your age now. We're all older. You're the old guy not wanting to get out. The stuff out. And I'm sort of the same way. But I see why they're doing what they're doing. Because they don't have that guy. Who out there are you going to get? Who is out there is available that's going to do the job that the 2 guys are doing the job right now?
Tommy, you got us mixed up. That's what Bobby's saying, not me. I'm saying Bobby's the old guy, not me,
So what
Tommy.
we're saying, basically, it's evolving. You don't need that typical closer anymore.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Well, because basically you got one that's emerging, and one that's kind of done it a little bit with Alvarado, but none of them's been, say to speak, anointed closer. But you got Hoffman that's got good. He's sort of come out of the woodwork and making a statement for himself. The way he's pitching, he could do the job. They're going to match up with guys the way they're going to do, and finish games. It's just like being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starter during the year. that stuff gets screwed up. Every person who pitches today, tomorrow, the next day is the number one starter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You can put a number on guys or not. Yeah, some guys have better years ago. Everybody looks at numbers and stuff. They say, oh, he's a number one starter. But that mismatch gets messed up all the time during the year. So it really doesn't matter.
Well, I get it. Listen, man, I get it. I get it. I just listen because right now the Phillies, like I said, there's really nothing really to complain about. I just hope we don't get exposed down the road. That's all I'm saying.
See, that's the thing about baseball. Nobody's perfect. You're going to get exposed in some aspect. It's the war of attrition. It's who doesn't make the mistake in the big moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
you got to limit that.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's a concern, and
Thanks, hey Tommy. Thanks for straightening out my brother. He's old fashioned. He's set in his ways. And listen,
Here's the thing. If somebody comes and if somebody for some odd reason comes available on a team that's not doing well, that's being paid, and they feel like they can add and make the team better, they will. Especially at the trade deadline. I think they'll do that. But they're getting better in the relieving side of it. They're still down in the totem pole because of the bad, start they had. But still, they're making progress. The relievers have got to give, and everybody's got to give to go and shake the starters' hands and give them a big hug for what they've done this year because they're leading baseball. So that's all you can say about that day. You leave those guys alone and just let them keep doing their job.
Yeah, I have full trust in this front office to make the right moves, necessary to compete for a championship. Like, there was a top-tier closing pitcher free agent on the market this past offseason, Josh Hader. Right. He got 5 years, $95 million from the Astros, and he's been horrible this year.
Right.
5.29 ERA, 10 earned runs.
You can pay all you want.
Exactly.
And you can look at the number. It's still about going out the next game and going out and doing the job.
And they've got guys that can do the job right now.
I like
that. Well, and you got. You see, if you think about that, we don't have Iron Mike out there throwing a baseball. What you're going to get what you get every time. We're human beings,
right?
And that's what makes
listen.
All right, so I want to say something. Hold on, that's why we have Tommy on the show, because I'm not going to take it from you. I'm taking it from Tommy. I feel better. Tommy.
Take this, Bobby. The total ERA for this team is 3.22. That's right. That's unbelievable. Take that.
Yes. I mean, it's awesome, and everybody should go thank those starters for that.
Yeah.
Because they're the best in baseball.
Well, guess what? But, Tommy, I'm looking at the stats right now. I mean, the bullpen, Schramm's 1.17. Alvarado, he's up there a little bit, but Hoffman's a 1.6. I mean, they've got guys. Their bullpen.
Alvarado had one bad outing.
Yeah, that's it.
His first out of the year was a clanker. Yeah.
Yeah. Soto's even doing well. I mean, Kirkring's not bad. I mean, these guys. I like their bullpen. I think we need one more right-handed reliever, and that's it. This team is complete.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. It comes across, at the trade deadline. Some teams will be willing to get rid of guys and shed some money, so to speak, or be willing to give up something. And I think the Phillies, if they feel like they need to get that, they'll do something.
All right, Tommy. Today
but they're not going to screw with too much with something that's working.
Right. Don't break it. So, don't fix it if it ain't broken. Tommy, today Zach Wheeler's on the hill, 4-3 record, 1.64 ERA. He's just a bull. He's a workhorse.
Leave him alone. That's enough said, Billy.
Yeah, that's
right. All right there.
Leave him alone. All right, Tommy. Well, we're going to leave it right there. Tommy, as always, we really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed going down memory lane on Mother's Day. And tell Wendy we said,
it's always good.
Yeah, tell Wendy we said Happy Mother's Day.
I sure will. I'll let her know.
All right, Tommy, there he is, Tommy Greene.